Hey, what is going on? I'm back, and I'm here to bring you guys my predictions for the AFC playoff picture and how the year's going to go for them. And I figured Broncos Chiefs game is, appropriate for that. And this game actually turns out to be a close game. So if you guys want, you could turn me down and watch it if you want. But anyway, let me get into this. And by the way, disclaimer: any thoughts you guys got on what I say, or agree, disagree, let me know in the comment section down there. I'm totally open to you guys' opinion. I'm not one of those guys who closed-minded. I like going back and forth because honestly, we don't know. Because there's a lot of guys that determine what goes on in the league and how it shapes out. But anyway, let's get into this. AFC East, that is the Patriots. That is their division. They've improved on defense, clearly, with their corners they got, and Belichick's gonna get them in the best positions possible. And Brady, he's got another year with these young guys out there, so he's got the division locked up as long as they can keep Brady healthy and keep that team in the right direction. Worst team in the division is going to be Dolphins. I like a couple of the guys they got on defense, but I don't think that's enough to carry the team. I think Lamar Miller is their best offensive weapon, which is not saying anything bad about him, but Lamar Miller I don't think is who you want as your best option. I think their pass game is very suspect, and I don't foresee good things for them, even though they're in arguably a weak division. Anyway, so the Jets, their best bet, get Vic in there. He's better than Geno across the board, and I think Geno sitting underneath Vic is the way to go for them. Of course, they got Calvin Pryor, they just drafted. He is a Rex Ryan type guy, and he will do well in his defensive scheme. Last team in the division is the Bills, who is the team of the future in this division, honestly. EJ Manuel and Sammy Watkins, getting them on the same page is going to be something special to watch. And then, of course, their defense, they lost Bird, but they still got Kiko, they still got Darius, they still got Kyle Williams, and they're still going to get their numbers and hold that defense down for them until they can gel and kind of replace a really good safety that they had in Bird. So anyway, Patriots in the East. Let's talk about the South, because the South is kind of the same because it's the Colts division. Definitely the Colts division. They just need to run the ball between the tackles more, and that was their problem last year when they got Trent Richardson. They didn't use him right. They tried to run stretches and tosses and all this stuff to the outside when he's a between the tackles kind of guy, and that's how they need to use him. They do that, they'll easily lock up this division, I think. But next team in there is the Texans, and the Texans going to be a fun team to watch with JJ and Jadavian. They're going to do real well and make that defense, loads better when they're together. And then Brian Cushing's back, so again, it's going to be another plus for them. But with such a big question mark at quarterback for them, I think the team's it's going to do better, but it's not going to have a chance to go for the division, and definitely not, I don't think, a chance for the playoffs. But yeah, I think they're going in the right direction, building around that defense. I think they just need to shore up their O-line and their quarterback positions. Next, Titans. I may say they're going to be the worst team in the league. Which is sad to say. I don't like saying that about a team, but I think it's not necessarily the team. I think it's the coaching staff, and I think it is the front office up there. They just, I don't think they're doing what needs to be done for the team. They got rid of their best receiver. They got rid of, their running back. And they want to build the team around Jake Locker, who looks shaky out there. And confidence to me at quarterback is a big thing, which is why I think the Jags are going to be the most improved team, because Blake Bortles has got loads of confidence. I know he's a rookie, but you like what you see from him. He's got a good arm. He's made good decisions. He still can run with the ball, like if he needs to. And he's got some young receivers out there that I think he can grow and establish with. And their defense was the only reason they won those 4 games last year, I think, is what they won. 3 or 4. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But yeah, their defense is still going to do well, and I think their team is definitely moving in the right direction. I foresee 7-9, 8-8 year, maybe better for them, which is loads better than what they did last year, especially if they put Bortles in, which they should. With a rookie quarterback, I don't think that's bad at all. And next year after that, if they continue what they're doing, I foresee them actually pushing the Colts for the division. But so yeah, it's definitely I have the Colts out there winning the division for the South. Next division we'll talk about is the West, and perfect because I got the Chiefs and Broncos right here. But the game is, I don't think, descriptive of how it's going to turn out, because I think the Broncos, they are going to be so ridiculous. And you say this every year about the Broncos, that they get better, and you don't think they can, but they do. With the 3 acquisitions they got on defense, I mean, it looks amazing. They pretty much changed receivers grade-wise, because I would grade Sanders along the same line as Eric Decker, but they're different types of receivers, if you guys get what I'm saying. Or Sanders is a stretch the field kind of guy, while Decker's like a third down, option. He's gonna catch that ball like period as long as it touches his hand. And Sanders, he's gonna stretch that defense and make it easy for Payton to spread the ball around. But I think they need to go to the run game. They need to get Monte Ball in there, and they need to ride Monte Ball. Not that their passing offense is not going to be as good as it was last year. I just think that was their downfall in the Super Bowl, was they did not run the ball, which kind of was all right for them to do, because they got behind so early in the game that they just never could stop the avalanche that was coming at them. But I think they are definitely the team to beat this year again. Also in the division is the Chargers. Chargers are again going to look good. They are my wild card pick along with the Chiefs, like they did last year. Their offense is gonna look much better than it did last year, because they have another year with Rivers and Keenan Allen, as long as everyone can stay healthy. Again, these all if everyone can stay healthy. And Eric Weddle, he's gonna run that defense just like he does every year. So yeah, I think they're going to put up another solid year. Now, the worst team in the division, the Raiders, I think they're going in the right direction, but I think it's too early to tell, because on offense, I don't see anything impressive for them. But I think taking Khalil Mack and hopefully building a team around him like they did with the 2000 Ravens, where they built the team around Ray Lewis, and that defensive mindset is the thing to do for them out there. And I think that is what they're doing, and especially from when I'm hearing about how Khalil's been doing out there, I think it's going to be good for them in the long run. But I think it's going to be another rough year for the Raiders. Sorry, Raider Nation, that's just how I see it. And the last division is the AFC North. And the AFC North, used to be a two horse race out there, where rightly now, how I see it, any one of these teams can win this division. And not saying that all these teams out here are great. I'm just saying this division is very equal across the board. Different in different ways, but I think across the board that any one of these teams could pull out this division. The Bengals are my nod for the favorite, obviously, because they won it last year, and I think their offense is still going to look as good as it did last year, and their defense is going to be just as solid. But I could easily see the Ravens coming up, or the Browns coming up. The Steelers, from what I'm hearing and what I've seen the past couple of years, they continue to go toward the passing game, which is, clearly look at the stats. The win-loss column is what I'm specifically talking about. Their win-losses have gone down since they started throwing the ball. And that is, not saying nothing against their backs. They just don't get a chance to pound the ball like they need to, which is what they need to go back to. A punch in the mouth defense and a ground and pound game, and then let Ben Roethlisberger throw the ball. Not your option one be Ben to throw the ball. I think that's their problem. Another team, Ravens, who's got the personnel. I think they're starting to get that attitude back that they used to have with the acquisition of Steve Smith and Terrell Suggs still out there. I think they get that mindset right, they'll do good. But if not, they could have another poor year like they did last year. I think maybe Ray Rice getting his 2-game suspension is going to be good for him. Bad for the team, obviously, for those 2 weeks. I still think Ray Rice is a good back in the league, but I think it's going to humble him and get him in the right frame of mind, to come back from his poor performance last year. Because last year I think he was drafted like top 3 backs in the league, and he definitely was not a top 3 back. Last team is the Browns, and this is the talk of the town right now because of Manziel and Hoyer. Who's going to start? Who's going to get? Whatever. And I think either way you go, Hoyer or Manziel, you're going to get the same results in a different way, because Manziel, of course, got that wow factor, but Hoyer's got that experience, and he's an efficient passer. You just got to keep him healthy, and I think they're going to do that. Their running back West out there is looking good. I know they have other backs, McGahee and such, but I think West, he'll come along as being their primary ball handler this year, which is going to be real good for them. And good for Johnny in the future, because Johnny's the quarterback of the future for them. Now defensively, they got Whitner, they got Hayden and Justin Gilbert on the corners there. I mean, they're looking great. They're in the defensive backfield, and I think that is really going to help their defense, be solid. And I think they could have a really good year. And it looks like they are. I love seeing fights in practices. Anyone who's played football, that is a good sign. I again give it to the Bengals out here. AFC East Patriots, North Bengals, South Colts, West is the Broncos, with the Chiefs and Chargers getting the nod for the wild card. So that's how I see it. You guys don't agree with me, let me know. But let me get into this gameplay, because as you see here, it's tied 42-all with a minute left, and he leaves me room to run with Alex Smith. Now, Alex Smith is not a quarterback you can sleep on, because he's got good enough wheels to get that first down and make a couple plays. You don't want to take some hits with them, but he's good enough. Here, get over the middle with Fasano, exactly where you want to go with the ball. Get down the field and get some yards. Here I'm able to dot this ball over his defense. And what is that, like 1, 2, 3, like 6 guys around him? Still able to complete it. And here's the play that essentially definitely gets me the field goal. Stay in bounds like you need to. And this should be the game, right? I should be able to milk this clock out. And here we go, getting another first down, and this should be the game, right? I mean, he should not get this ball back, right? So I kneel it out. I'm going to let the clock run down, but he decides to go offsides. And unwise of me, I accept the penalty. No clue why I accept it. I definitely should have declined it. But it stops the clock for him. So, now he's got 13 seconds and a timeout, and if he doesn't return this ball, which is what he should do, but instead he decides to bring it out with Trindon Holiday, who is known to fumble, and he has not shown anything good returning, so he essentially wastes himself a play there. Here he throws it in the middle, wastes his last time out, so the game's pretty much mine. I just gotta wait this out. But my opponent, we had a good game back and forth. We were going at it, because obviously I feel I have more of a balanced attack, but in this game I had to go my passing game, while he killed me on rushing. And as you can see here, 141 yards with Monte Ball, holy cow. And then Nosha Marino had 42 yards. Jesus, like, he killed me on the front game. But it is what it is. But like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think down there. And that's it from me. I'm out. Deuces.